Welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Theresa, but you can call me Cat. I'm doing a February astrological reading for Pisces. So Pisces here, and we have ruled by the planet Neptune. I believe Pisces is in Neptune, at least at the beginning of February. So the reading that I'm doing for February is my Yin-Yang Relationship Check-In reading that you can get. So I'm adding charms to it just to get an overview about what the reading's supposed to be about in general. And the way that this works is you can... Unfortunately for Aquarius, I had the cards flipped over so it was harder to see, but we have this cards here, and then the bottom of the deck is on the opposite side, and then these cards here with the bottom of the deck on this side. So I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to take the bottom card, and I'm just going to take the deck out of there so it's not in the way, so it's easier to see on camera. This is the Blessed Bee deck by Lucy Cavendish. It's like an oracle deck. And this is the Mystical Shaman Oracle. And the bottom of the deck. And then we'll get the deck out of here, out of the way. So I have it focused to about here. And these cards will be harder to see, but I will hold them up when the time is right. So this is kind of... I'm going to move this back over here because it's kind of in my way. These kitty bag clips today, and I had this on my sweater, but you can't see it on my lapel the way I'm doing this reading, so I moved it. Okay, just stop shouting at me. Alright, so I've got some charms that are inverted here. And the one that is upright is the top hat. Now this reminds me of the Aquarius reading that I did, because I think I referenced the Monopoly, do not pass go, do not collect $200. And I also referenced the Magician, right? The magic hat. So I'm not quite sure what this means fully yet, but we'll take a look at what the other charms are that come out. So, I guess it's more focused here. So the top hat, I have the mouse. Oh, the mouse. Mouse. Let's see if I can hold this so that it doesn't look all fucked up. I guess that's alright. Mouse. Mouse is chewing on... Oh, the mouse was inverted, but he's chewing on the hat. I put him upside down so I remember that he was inverted. There we go. Like shaking the mouse out of the hat. Also inverted is this bone. I found this humorous. And also inverted the scissors. Damn it. The scissors. So I'm getting this idea of like cutting family ties and like shaking like old dusty crap out of your hat. Like I'm cleaning out my closet. Something that's no longer cutting me to the bone. It's no longer gnawing at me. Oh. Like it's no longer gnawing me down to the marrow. It's no longer cutting me. What does the hat mean? I'm going to get some clarifying charms for the hat. Clarify the hat. Okay, so to clarify the hat, I have the rhino inverted. And really getting Ace Ventura 2 vibes. Because it's in the bone. You must be the Monopoly guy, and it's kind of hot in those rhinos. And I was thinking about him the other day when he was doing the stairs, and the guy was like, "Hey, hurry up!" And he's like, "Let's do all the things that you want to do." So the rhino inverted, but the narwhal, who also has a sword on his head, upright. So I'm getting this idea of like coming back to nature, but I'm hearing Going Back to Basics by Christina Aguilera, to where it all began. I'm just thinking, what does the top hat mean, though? Oh, it's a crown opening. Okay, so we have like sonar. Okay, so this makes sense for Pisces, right? Because Pisces is like the subconscious. We're dealing with activating the crown chakra in order to perceive the truth more. And here, because this is an aquatic animal, we have the truth, like what's true in my heart. What's true that I'm connecting into the universe with. So I see right away over here on this side, I guess I'm starting on this side for this set. What I had to start with, oh my god, is the council. So I see a number 11 here. You know, the council is like the higher selves, right? If I'm connecting my crown chakra, I'm getting into the higher, I'm trying to bridge the higher realms where the council beings sit. Right? It's like a quorum of people's higher selves. That's what the council is. Other disincarnate, higher dimensional beings. Carne asada. So 11 is a universal timing number. It's also the duality number of the masculine and the feminine coming together, which is why people say it's the twin flame number. It doesn't necessarily have to be, right? It could be balance of masculine and feminine energy, of light and dark. We have this new moon energy here, which is when I'm recording this, but it could also be whenever the new moon in February is, sometime mid-month, more or less. All right, so I'm gonna... Do I want to skim that? I do not want to skim that. Alright, so let's see what these cards are. A blessing on growing older, coming in inverted. Now look at this. That's like new moon energy, or waning moon. Blessing on growing older, 38, breaking down to 11, coming in inverted. So this one also messing with timelines. I got timeline shifting for Aquarius reading. All right, I'm not growing older. I'm sucking time back in. I'm not growing older. I'm doing something in universal timing. We'll see what else comes out. 45 inverted. There's moon energy here as well. Blessing to shield and safeguard you. 45 breaking down to a 9. She looks kind of unger. I did get some Virgo energy in Aquarius's reading, but I'm looking at this. Right. This is the crone, and she looks really young. She could be the maiden. Because she's not pregnant, she's not necessarily the mother. So we have the mother and the maiden, but the maiden is in war energy, but inverted. There's a sword here, right? So there's something going on with the truth. A blessing for a mother. Upright. 1 in 12 breaks down to 3, which is the Empress, which is the mother energy. Okay, so Pisces, interestingly, oh, here we crown energy activation. What? And the maiden here also has horns on, so she's got crown activation. This crone here, she doesn't necessarily have crown activation because she's got her crown covered, which is interesting, but she's got the number 11. She's shifting timelines. But look at this. The flowers look like they're growing out of her hat. So that you'd be have a crown of flowers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it skips to 8. 8 isn't a number of infinity, but it can also be strength or justice, which is the opposite number of 11. So you have that 8-11 dichotomy, but also infinite. So what's interesting is we've got the maiden, the mother, and the crone all in the same section of the reading. So Pisces dealing with, oh, this is interesting too because there's an inverted masculine here, and these are all feminines. And this is 17, so it breaks down to 8. I'll hold him up in a second because he's got crown activation and a moon too. He is the antithesis to this 45. I don't want to get too far into that though, but the threefold goddess, the mother, the maiden, and the crone, exist at the same time, the same way that the past, the present, and the future exist now. That 11 universal timing. It's like I can behave like the crone, but I still have access to maiden energy. The maiden, even if she's inexperienced, has access to the mother energy and access to the crone energy. It's like I am anchoring this energy at this time in this pinpoint in space-time that I'm experiencing now, and this is the energy, right? Wise, this is like the high priestess, the maiden that is, what was she? Just Virgo energy. What is she in the deck? The maiden is the girl that's in the strength card with the lion. And then the mother is the Empress. Let's see what's on this side. Okay, so here's this guy. A blessing on your love. Now he's inverted in the same way that this maiden is inverted. Now he looks like a fairly young man. There's this idea of like a youth, a father, and a wizard. The magician, kind of. What is the fool is the youth. The father is the emperor, and then the wizard is the magician. So those are the masculine, the trifold god energies. And he's coming in at this 17, a blessing on your love, inverted in the same way that a blessing to shield and safeguard you, the young feminine energy, is inverted. She breaks down to 9, he breaks down to 8. So it's like 3 times the goddess, right? 3 times 3 is 9, and then twice the god, 4 times 2, 8. Interesting. This is some crazy shit. I've never, this is the most, like, esoteric, I think that's the right word. This is the most spiritual this particular reading has, particular, spread has come out. Because usually you think Yin-Yang Relationship Check-In, it's me and the person I'm in love with. Or me and the person I'm fighting with. This is actually really similar to the, like, 4-hour long pick a card pick a set twin flame karmic readings that I did, I think it was in December, where the karmic wasn't a person, it was the universe giving the same lesson to both the masculine and the feminine at the same time. It was like the proctor of the exam. And this is how these readings are coming out for February with this spread. It's more cosmic than day to day. So let's see what's over here, especially with this, because these are both oracle decks, and that's what came out for Pisces, so that's what I'm doing. So we have the Hunter in the Led Zeppelin. They call me the Hunter. That's my name. I think that's Led Zeppelin. Yeah, I think it's on one of the albums that I haven't listened to as much. So 27 breaking down to 9. All right, the Hunter. This guy looks... Oh, this is the same guy. He's a young man here, but here he's the father. This is actually the magician. He's dressed up like a shaman. But he's called the Hunter. That came out upright, too. The Hunter is about resources. I am going to read that one, but I want to flip these other cards over first. Okay, not this one, but I'm going to flip this one over, and then I'll read the Hunter. Wind. 63 inverted, also breaking down to a 9. So I am going to have to read this one. Now, this is an older woman. This is the crone up inverted again. But she's got Horus with her. Horus is the sun. So inverted is carrying a moon energy. There's an ecliptic energy. The masculine and the feminine energy at the same time is an eclipse. I guess I'm turning this over. The sorcerer. Okay, so this is the magician again. 48 breaking down to 12, which breaks down to 3, which is this energy. So all of these 3 cards all have feminine numerical energy on them. Woo. Now this sorcerer here looks very young. It looks like the fool who's trying to be the magician by cutting corners. And he doesn't have to be evil, or he doesn't have to be dark, he doesn't have to be malicious. But it's a little bit more of the trying to pull a fast one, whereas the Hunter has been through some shit. So what's missing in this reading is the father. This sorcerer is the boy who wants to have the power and the weight of the magician. He wants to be the wizard, but he's not wizened. This is a slight... He might be about the same age. He's got a little beard going, though. A young man who wants to be the father, but he's not because he's inverted. He's trying, but he's not there yet. So let me read wind first. So we're looking at wind. I only want to read the medicine because it's inverted. Oh, I opened right to it. Look, there's a wolf. Very masculine energy. In the Dreams of Gaia Tarot, there's one of the modified major arcana is a card called the Youth. It's a young masculine energy who's essentially the Fool. And the Fool usually has a dog. But that youth has a wolf. It's to me, it's a very masculine animal. Whereas cats tend to be more feline, even though the lion is often thought of as male. Okay, so wind. Because it's inverted. You're being invited to recognize the value of chaos. Clearing the air, spreading seed plants. Right now it may seem as if your world has been turned upside down, right? He's upside down. She's upside down. This is a temporary storm that will blow over. Perhaps communication has broken down between you and another, or your many to-do lists are overwhelming you. So we want to simplify, slow down, course correct if you need to. All storms have great value if you can remain neutral during their course. The energy of this too shall pass. I'm getting this idea that there's sort of like the shit hit the fan between the masculine and the feminine energy. And the masculine is trying to rein her in by magic and by looking for her, hunting. And she's not even coming out to defend herself. She's just not there at all. But the reality is that she's in plain sight if she's approached correctly. But she's still defensive. She's got this branch in front of her. She's like, I'm going to make damn sure you're not about to pull some stupid shit. But this crone is coming in inverted because she's not using her psychic ability to detect him ahead of time. Like there's I want to say cognitive block. Right? It's like I can't sense you coming. So when I open my door, I want to make sure it's the right version of you or something like that. But the council, ruining this card trying to pick it up. The council over here is indicating universal timing, the union of the masculine and the feminine. So I might actually read the council afterwards. But the universe is saying it's time. And I'm not sure what kind of eclipse in particular is happening in February. But if there's some eclipse other than moon phases, a partial solar or partial lunar eclipse, it's going to be a key date. And if not, then definitely the new moon in February, sometime mid-month. But if there's some other eclipse there, then this is going to be dealing with the energies. And there's something on the 17th of February as well. I just heard court date. Somebody might have a court date on the 17th. Skim the hunter real quick. 27. Master tracker, yeah, that's what it is. He's looking for the feminine. You need to follow the tracks left by spirit to claim your bounty, which is already prepared and being offered to you. Do not follow the maps drawn by others, as they will not lead you true. Instead, become the map maker, find your internal compass, and use all your senses. So this wind here is like an etch-a-sketch. It's destroying the map so he doesn't keep trying to use the spells, the map, to pull in the feminine. Now he actually has to go out and track her. And this bear energy is like, the bear lives in the forest. The bear knows all about the forest. The bear is one with the forest. And in order to make the map to the feminine energy through the forest, the hunter has to look closely at the breadcrumbs left by the council. They're like, dude, it's not that hard. Just listen to the trees. Listen to the dirt moving underneath you. That kind of thing. So let me just skip into the sorcerer real quick, because I think some people might need to have the sort of trying to force it energy clarified. That's not what I wanted. This looks like somebody in particular, but I don't want to dislodge the energy of the reading by saying who it looks like to me. Source of dark power, the destructive aspect of the human psyche, self-centered behavior that harms others, unconscious beliefs and ideas that foster separation, conflict, and scarcity. So it looks like in this spread that the masculine energy was the one whose role it was to play the dark energy. But if you look at this, this feminine energy has previously been in the dark energy herself. But she's not allowed to do the magic. You can't combat dark energy with dark energy. Therefore, she isn't fighting. She simply poofs out of... She doesn't... She's like, I'm not going to teleport out of here. I'm just going to take a long walk through the woods. Meanwhile, the masculine energy, having more recently come out of retrograde, because Venus got to go first, still trying to wean off of the dark sauce. Examine the destructive part of your psyche that misuses power or harbors feelings of resentment, vengeance, lust, greed, bigotry, or hatred. Perhaps you've harmed someone because of these dark tendencies. If so, all is not lost. You've only forgotten that all beings are interconnected and the universe is abundant. Right? The hunter is about abundance, right? Not taking more than you need. Challenges you to change your thinking. You're given a second chance. Course correct. Again, course correction here. Practice not blaming others for the darkness that lives inside you. Make peace with it and choose another way. Right? Again, so the wind here, Etch-a-Sketch, but it's... This inversion is telling me more that it's an internal... Right? My internal compass is being shaken up. It's, the fog clearing. This is like a mental fog. It's like, I'm going to light my way by throwing fireballs, but the problem with the fireballs is that they create smoke, which spreads the darkness. So this is, then comes the wind, shakes it up like an Etch-a-Sketch, and then notice how the energy looks in colors are very similar here. Then emerges the hunter from when the smoke clears. And this masculine energy at that point will then gain the strength and confidence, and the sun energy of the core drive to interact with the feminine, whether that's another person or whether it's internally. So what happens here is that the truth in a water way, emotionally, but also psychically, has to do with crown opening. What happens when you open your crown? It's like seeing the first yard of where you need to go on your path after the fog clears. Oh, I can make the new map now. I can see psychically where I'm going. And then the council, hold the collective wisdom of humanity. They do your life review when you cross into the world of spirit. But here it's sort of like a midterm life review, and they've decided to shake some sense into you, basically. Scramble your brains. Their wisdom is available to you at all times when you live in a state of yes and an unconditional relationship with life. That's that crown energy. That's that top hat. Okay. They remind you of your place around a sacred fire which has been reserved for you since the beginning of time. You will claim it when you own your own inner wisdom. And I was saying that he's not wizened. He doesn't have the wisdom yet. And in my music deck, the Karma card, the Judgment card, 20, is Wisdom by Johnny Lang, which is a really good song and is relevant to this. Because this also clears out karma, too, when you balance the light and the dark. And we have the dark here, and then we're trying to get into some lightness. So there is this idea of eclipse as well. Listen with your inner senses. It's also the crown. It's also the heart. This says the handwriting is already on the wall. And this was talking about maps earlier. Embark on the journey to love deeply and don't wait for other signs. Take a leap without requiring life to assure you of success. Now, what's interesting is that Aquarius's reading was had a lot of Fool energy in it, making sense because it's Aquarian. But here, the leap is essentially clearing out the subconscious, which makes sense for Piscean energy. Now, when I read Aquarius, I felt like I needed another card to finish the reading, but I think this actually is finished, so we're going to stop here. All right, so if you want to get a personal reading, you can hit me up. And my information, try to get it focused a little bit. Oh, the battery's getting low, too. No. Come on. There we go, that's alright. Except it needs to be higher. Gotta get my hair higher. I have a complete list of my readings and how much they cost in the description box below this video. And you can also get that list if you email me, thecatcamebackatcamp@gmail.com. All of these links are linked in my link tree. That's linktr.ee/CATtheMinion. I have coloring books and a poetry book. I have actual art on Etsy. I have a coupon code there, 3*17. If you go through the link tree, it'll pop in at the top of the page. I have merch on Cafe Press. I have prints on DeviantArt. If you'd like to help me keep my channel going here, you can donate PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. Yes. All right. Just trying to think if there's anything else that I should say about that right now. I mean, everything's linked through the link tree. It makes it easy. The link tree link you can click on is in the description box below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Check out my playlists tab, my discussion tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.